Okay, let's go. Happy Thursday in Japan. If you're a subscriber, go ahead and comment below. This $369 set is going to go to somebody that is a subscriber. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And also comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you genuinely like it. I really appreciate the engagement. Let me get out of this and get to the website. This is the Yanyin Canon, which is a single dynamic and 6 balance armature driver set. I'll talk about the drivers at the end of the video. It is the third version of the Canon. They had the Yanyin Canon, the number 2, and then this would be the Pro. Of the three, as far as looks go, you can't see it in this video, but these are absolutely gorgeous. These look really nice. The cable is good as well. You can go check the unboxing if you want to see this set up close. The frequency graph, as we take a look over here, is really nice. The upper mid treble, which I like to be at this range because I can turn up. It gives me some headroom so that I can turn it up a little bit without getting loud or shouty. The upper mids and treble are brilliant. The mids are also very good. There's really 3 versions: down, down, up, up, and then I think it's up and down as it comes out of the box, and you can see it's really taking care of everything below 500 hertz. I think this is not a passive crossover, electronic crossover, and I'm reviewing the green one, which would be up and up, just for full disclosure. I'm not going to talk about all 3 versions, just go with the one that I like the most. I think that the tuning on this set is excellent. Let's go ahead and talk about how this plays back music. I think at the low end stuff with 808 drops, like Kendrick Lamar, Tupac, Ghetto Boys, Public Enemy, Nas, Jay-Z, stuff like that, it does fairly well in the up configuration. I can hear the dynamic driver and the emphasis. I think it does okay. It's not a bass headset, but it has enough bass. It's a little bit light when we look at the mid bass, but it's relative really to the upper mids, and they're about the same amplitude. So it doesn't sound like there's any pull out in the mid bass, and I'll explain that further. So it sounds okay. Again, it's not a bass headset, but it does sound kind of more balanced, and I can't comment on the other tunings. They would be less bass, and I would probably not be a fan of that. As we move into a bass guitar, the 4 and 5 string pulls, the plucks, the releases, the ringing of the strings. Again, as I showed using a spectrogram, there's a ton of information in just the harmonics. If you remove all of the fundamentals and you listen to it, you can tell EADG, the chord progression, very easily, and vice versa. You can take out all the harmonics and just the fundamentals. And so everything that goes all the way up to really the resonance peak is very much part of the overall tuning and replay of the instrument. I think that this set plays it back good. I think it plays it back really good, actually. It's probably the strength of it, as the 808 drops are not, the bass guitar is. As we get into the bottom kick drum, the 4th track, or the track off of the 4th album by Led Zeppelin, the iconic intro with the powerful Bonham production that they did on that. That sounds pretty good, actually. It sounds like a clearly emphasized bass drum / kick drum. There's not really a problem there. Again, it's not a bass headset, but it is conveying that well. So I think in the low end, it's not bass head. It is something that's potentially very much vocal centric because it's got 3 settings that are pulling down the area that might encroach into the vocals. Now let's go ahead and get into the vocals. Talking about Lane Staley, Chris Cornell, Nina doing the cover of Blondie, for example, I think that this does vocals very well. There is no mid-bass encroachment that is husking up and lifting up the fundamentals. There's no over-emphasis of any part of the upper mids that is kind of getting on me. I think the replay of the vocals is why I would probably call this a vocal-centric set, more so than like a bass headset. So I like it for vocals. I think it sounds quite good for male and female vocals. There's no blooming, there's no warming up of the female vocals that I can pick up. And like I said, the bass guitar actually sounded really good. So having the bass guitar sound natural and real, and also female vocals being very nice, is kind of a good combo where I could see a lot of people probably liking this. As we move into harmonics, which is the, again, knock my knuckle on the table. The knuckle striking the table is the fundamental moment, like a cymbal strike, ride or crash, finger pulling on a bass guitar string, a pick on electric or acoustic guitar with or without distortion pedals. Those moments are at a certain frequency, and that's the fundamental frequency of that moment. And then all the noise that creates, clapping your hand, for example, those are the harmonics. That's most of 80-90% of what you hear. And same when you listen to earphones, because the scale is compressed. You're listening to lots of stuff, but a lot of emphasis is being put on 1/20th of the scale. 1 kilohertz again is about 55% of the scale, and the other 19 parts are very much compressed. But that's where a lot of sets can live and die, because you love the sound, but it's not really something you could listen to for more than 30 minutes. This is actually a long listen set, and I did listen to this for quite a while. So I think that harmonics do well on this, They sound natural, and they don't sound overemphasized, and there's no precipitous roll-off either. It's doing well all the way up to the very end. To my ear, nothing sounds like it's really being masked or just isn't present. Let me go ahead and rank this. Let me rank it and then I'll explain. Is it a dumpster fire? Absolutely not. Hope it was free. For somebody that comments under this video, it's going to be free. Coping is working. Coping? No, but I was listening for that mid bass and how it was going to. So not coping, but I was kind of listening. I guess anything that's not like straight, everything's fine, is kind of coping. So in a little bit of a way, yeah. Competes with its peers. At $399 in its tuning and its sound quality, I think it is. I'd buy it. This is where we get down to my Warpath, and Linsol is not excluded from that. That would be pretty hypocritical, wouldn't it? I would say that a lot of people would probably like this set, and I think that the tuning speaks for itself. I think they tuned it very nicely. My insistence on companies talking about what the internals are, whether it's a Knowles or Sony or a Chinese balanced armature variant that they're trying to build up, and all they have to do is say the series and the number so that we can follow along what ones we think are good or bad. And by the way, you're building up the reputation of a new balanced armature entity, which exists apparently, but nobody's really talking about it. And these are custom drivers. And I asked and I said, are these Knowles inside? They said yes, and then they said no. I appreciate the disclosure and the honesty, and but I personally wouldn't grab them just because it doesn't tell me what the drivers are. Though I think a lot of you seem to not really put much care into that or think that it's a big deal. Sound quality over everything. I don't care what's inside. I just want to hear music played back well. Well, then this is a set that you should probably consider, because I think it does in fact play back music well. This reviewer, and me personally, if I had another set that sounded just like this, was tuned just like this, and told me what the drivers were in it, I would rank it higher. I would more enthusiastically endorse it and suggest that you buy it. So now I'm going to split it. I'm going to say that the people that think that disclosure is very important, transparency, and they want to know everything that's inside of all of the stuff that they buy, their car, their refrigerator, their computer. If that's important to you, then I'd say maybe no. If you are in the camp that thinks that these custom drivers are good, I've heard them many times, I don't need to know exactly what they are, well then this is for you. This is a well-tuned set that's clearly not by the graph doing anything really wrong. It certainly doesn't have too much mid bass. It definitely doesn't have too much upper mids, and it's not lacking in the upper treble. So in the tuning department, they did it really well. So there you go. This is probably for you. I'll go ahead and let you guys go.